Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset Episode 33. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you enjoy playing Destiny as much as we do, then you're in the right place. This week, Bungie finally dropped some content news on us, and we talked the ups and downs of Crimson Doubles. To top it off, at JC Jesse from Destiny Dads dropped some fun speak pipes on us from our favorite friends at the Tower. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. This is Arrow Knight, and here with me, Mr. Cyborg Sasquatch. How's it going, man?
It's me, Cyborgio.
Cyborg. How you doing, dude?
Doing all right, man. Another lovely Monday night. We're recording on a Monday again. First time in a long time.
Back to the night before we post.
Yes, guys, we do not procrastinate, I swear to God.
This is the most up-to-date Destiny news and content possible for us.
That's right. We're trying to keep it fresh, make sure, you got the full week's worth of reset information from us.
Very nice.
Well, let's get into some announcements, man. Let's go into my geography lesson of the week. I've got a Twitter from Mr. C-By, which C-By2010 is his Twitter handle. He says, for the geography lesson of the week, use Tyler, Texas, as it is the rose capital of the world. And since Valentine's Day is so close, Valentine's Day, roses, rose capital, get the connection there. He says, plus there are warlocks in Texas, Stormcaller / Sunsinger / Voidwalker all day. Just want to point out, I've been to Tyler, Texas. Great little town there.
I have too, man.
Yeah, man. I'm sure you probably have too, up in the northeast of Texas. And I have to say, my favorite thing and the most unique thing about Tyler, Texas is they have Shipley's Donuts there.
Very nice.
If nobody's ever heard of Shipley's Donuts, they are some of the best in the world, I swear to God. And so I had to point that out, that I would just love to go there or anywhere else in Texas or North Louisiana and get some Shipley's Donuts if I could. So yeah, enjoy those donuts, C-By. You better be eating them. It's
probably been, I would say, pushing 11 years now, but I have been there. I've been there. Nice. I visited for a week, a friend, so very cool.
Yep. What else we got going on this week, man?
We had a pretty big move this week, and we appreciate everyone's patience and the willingness to jump on board with this. We actually pretty much, long story short, outgrew the old GroupMe chat. We maxed out in our general chat on the Derp fam. So we made a move this week to Discord. We tested this out, guys, for probably a month. Honestly, it was months, but we really tested it out for probably the last month, and we decided it was the best move for the Derp fam, and thought you guys would like it, and all the aspects of it that come along with it, the app and the desktop app. Everything seemed really cool about it, and we hoped you guys would like it, and we think you do. So if you want to check out the link. If you go to the current new member forum post that's been up for quite a while now with anything and everything related to the Derp fam and the podcast, there's a link in there to invite you to the Discord chat. And this one's really cool, guys, because it's got different channels and stuff. So when you're in the general chat, you can actually just hit the little channel menu at the top and just jump right back and forth from Xbox, PS4 to back to the general chat. So
yeah, it's really cool.
Yep.
Best thing is there's plenty of room to grow, so we don't have to worry about how many members we have in there. We can create as many channels as we want as we grow. And the app has a little bit slimmer profile than the GroupMe app. So all around, it was a good move for us. So guys, if you haven't been part of our general chat and you're a member of the group, or even if you're not, come join us over there. Jump in and catch the daily Destiny and everything else in life chatter that goes on there. Yeah, it's really fun. Great way to connect with people, make new friends, as many people have, and just be a part of the Derp fam.
Yeah, I think tonight we saw what Slarty was eating for dinner. In
Yeah,
the
it looked
chat.
good too, man.
Yeah, but definitely, guys, just make the hop over. If you have any questions, you can tweet at Destiny Reset or any of the admin team. Thanks to them as well for helping us out, and we all kind of grouped together and made the move as easy as possible. So definitely thank you guys.
Yeah, man. And then we had a Derp Fam member that wanted to give something away this week, right?
Yeah, we did. Necessary Evil messaged us just a little while back, probably been just a few weeks, and asked if he could give another game away that wasn't Destiny related. And we were like, "Oh, sure, man, anything for the Dirt Fam, right?
Free game's a free game,
right?" So he provided us with a game download code for Xbox One for Gears of War Ultimate Edition. It comes with the game, a couple multiplayer skins for a couple different characters, and basically we're going to make this one simple. First person to tweet at us and ask, and basically just say, "Hey, can I have that code from Necessary Evil for Gears of War?" You got it. So
it's a race this week, guys. First to finish.
As soon as you hear it. Yep, and thanks to Necessary Evil, and I'm sure we say it on behalf of the Dirt Fam. Thanks for sharing with everybody, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. So how was your reset?
Reset has been great, man.
Yeah.
I'm leading off with no Nightfalls, but we actually probably played the most together this past week.
We did play a lot.
We have, period, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got into a lot of fun stuff. Definitely played some Crimson Doubles, which we'll talk about in our main topic, all the ups and downs of that affair. Let's see. I didn't do a Nightfall this week either, but we did play some Trials and got into all kinds of stuff, man. Did you order anything from Arms Day this week?
Actually, I did, because Terry told me to, and I honestly don't even remember what it was. Oh, I think it was the fusion rifle. I got
the Thiessen FR4.
Yeah, it was the fusion rifle is what it was. He told me I need to make sure I order one, so I listened.
Yeah, I have one. I have an order for that sitting in my inventory. Not great rolls on that this week. Man, but every time we talk about this, I forget to go check and look if I can order a good rocket launcher. And I still can't remember to do that. I just need to go like you and go pick up the Vertigo.
Yes, just did that this week.
But I don't think I can. I think, do any of my guys... I don't know if any of my characters have rank 3 with Future War Cult. My Titan might.
I've done
Titan
some
might
modes
because
into
I
that.
pledged him. Yeah, I guess I could put some modes into it. I need to get on that because I do not have a great legendary rocket launcher for any of the competitive multiplayer stuff, and I just complain about it and don't do anything about it.
Very nice. Yeah, I think the JLB 47 came up the week that my Titan. I got to the point where I could run my Titan in some trials and stuff, and I got lucky on that, but I still haven't gotten the roll that I've wanted on it. So, them's tattoos. iTattoo told me just to pick up the Vertigo when we were playing Friday night.
Yep. And did you get into anything else? Any other weekly, daily activities? Any fun stuff this week?
No, actually, I'm hoping after we record tonight, I'm going to try to fit in my Nightfall. It's still high priority for me on my Xbox
down to
character.
The last minute.
I know, man. That Xbox character still has that chance. I'm hunting the last word. I'm hunting these primary exotics.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of good stuff that you need.
I know, right?
It's worth the rolls for sure. Well, let's talk about some trials this week, man.
Did you do any rating before we jump into that?
I did not get any rating done this week. I actually focused on doubles right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Spent a few nights this week doing that and having fun, and then before I knew it, it was the weekend. Trials was up, and I mostly did PvP all week.
Well, you had mentioned last week that your raid team might finally be kind of getting off schedule, right?
They have fallen apart, man.
It's been a long run, dude.
Yeah, it was a long run, but we got a lot out of that raid. We really pumped it, and I think everybody got a little burnt out, and a lot of the guys are sitting at 319 or 318, 317,
right?
And either have lost the desire to get 320 or don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, which I can't blame them for that,
right?
But it's not like such an important thing that you really have to. It's not like back when you were forever 29, and like there was this huge difference between 29 and 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's virtually no difference between 319 and 320. You know, what's just the difference between bragging rights?
Right, yeah. No motivation except just for that number on your screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had mentioned to you too. I was sitting there, you know, like I actually started a single player type game this week alongside Destiny and put a little bit of time into it, and I was telling you, I'm like, you know, if I'm even remotely getting kind of to where I just taking a little bit of a break, I just need to go play the raid. Because and I need to pick your brain about it. I think I've ran the raid like maybe 3, 4, 5 times.
Yeah.
Maybe. So I've got plenty of content.
Yeah, you
there,
have
don't
plenty
I?
of time. Yeah. At least a couple nights a week you could just do that.
Right.
And have fun. I mean,
yep.
I played it for months and had a blast, you know, doing it. So
you jump
there's a lot
over
of
on
fun
that
to be
side.
had there. But yeah, let's talk trials, man.
Yeah, we ran Friday night together with them's tattoos, didn't we? Was that well, it almost would have had to have been. It was Friday night. I guess that was our
Friday
first passage for all three of us for the weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rusty lands this week.
Man, this map, I was excited because the last time this map was up, we really had a lot of fun with it. And then I remembered that I wasn't going to have special ammo right off the bat.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That changed it for sure.
Yeah, no question, because there's that huge sniper lane that basically one side spawns into the sniper lane almost, and then you got to run a little bit on both sides. But it turned into basically a Mida battle, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, initially that was pretty much it. Like, you know, I wanted to run my sniper in my last word, but I kept having to remember, okay, it's round 1. I got to get my Mida out. Everybody's popping their staple guns. I'm like, oh crap, I'm not going to kill anybody with this. So yeah, a lot of Mida battling, and you and Jordan got a lot of kills on the onset in the first round with those Midas. Y'all are good with those things.
Man, it was so funny to hear nothing but that gun. But we figured out real fast, the three of us, it was just rush as fast as you can and team shot as quick as you could with that gun, and then try to not do it so fast that we couldn't get special before the second round started.
Yeah, that was a problem too.
Yep, it was fun.
Get into round 3 and nobody still has special. You know?
I'll tell you, on PlayStation, we did a passage last night, and I started using Jade Rabbit for a little bit. iTattoo had mentioned the Iron Banner Scout actually was pretty decent on that map. So I don't have it on PlayStation. I got that on Xbox, but I switched over to the Jade Rabbit, and man, that gun, I can't wait till you Xbox guys can use that gun, because it hits, it fires slow, but it hits so hard. It's ridiculous. It hits so hard. It's such a good looking gun.
Yeah, and Jade Rabbit's like a mid-tier impact scout, right?
Right.
Or is it a high impact?
Well, no, it's I want to say it's high impact, because I mean, when you hit with that thing, I mean, it's 3 headshots, but it's got to have some stagger going on or something, because it almost feels like your opponent just falls apart as soon as you start shooting at him with it. It's insane. But it's also such a sleek, cool looking weapon, man.
It's really pretty. That's for sure.
But we had a pretty good passage, dude. It's kind of it almost upsetting, but none of us seem to be too upset about it.
Yeah, it wasn't heartbreaking, but we lost our boon on what game was it?
That's probably 4 or 5.
4 maybe? Or 5, yeah. And then progressed through, and we had some sweaty ones, including a team that waved off heavy and then picked it up.
Yeah, and then
taught us all a lesson, like, okay, we're never doing that again.
Right.
Thankfully, though, they did later message us and apologize for the confusion. But
they did, yeah. But it ended up being a positive exchange.
Yeah. But you know, had some difficulties along the way here and there. You know, some games went smoother than others. But that last game, man, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Started out strong. They came back on us, and it was 4-4, 9th game. No mercy boon, and things just got really crazy around B point.
Yeah, for sure. It was so crazy. I mean, that's about basically as close as you can get. We lost 5-4 in our 9th game.
Yep. We lost with me trying to slide into the A cap door, and somebody finished me off with a scout or something right as I was sliding in. I was like, ah!
Yeah. Yeah, there was a
So
point where
disappointed.
I don't remember if it was that round or not, but you almost you ran around and res both of us, man, and almost basically turned one of the rounds back for us, but
I
they
think
just
that
kept
was
res
heavy
sniping.
round, yeah,
Yeah.
in another game, but yeah, things got crazy. But it's hard to be super disappointed when we got right on the cusp. I mean, we played hard.
Well, considering the three of us have played once before together.
Right.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty good teamwork,
okay.
man. Yeah.
I think we did okay. But, my insights with that map were, essentially you're going to start off if somebody gets special first, you're going to have to keep your head down, get to another point. B ended up being the alternate meeting ground if we couldn't control the sniper lane, initially.
Right.
Besides that, we didn't spend a lot of time inside A, but that corridor between, I guess the front part in front of, A, going down to B was, not used as frequently as I expected.
You talking about the long little tunnel there?
Well, not the tunnel, but in between the big fuel tanker and the other side where B is,
Gotcha.
That long lane, the opposite sniper lane.
Mm-hmm.
I expected that to be a big battleground, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, no, not unless one team changed their strat because they were losing on the other end. It seemed like, yeah I agree. It wasn't that high traffic of an area. But it was fun.
How did your other cards go on PS4?
We played just one last night, and honestly, it was probably the quickest 9-0 run we've had. It was probably an hour 15 is how long it took, maybe a little longer.
Not bad.
No mercy, right through it. And we ran into some connection issues. Like basically people on the other team just not taking damage. So I don't know if like the damage referee's coming into play and it's something like we're going to have to just experiment with and see how it's going to work. Who knows what, one game we would have all green bar, which sometimes can be deceiving a little bit nowadays, and then other times everybody's flopping around from red to yellow to green, and the Skittles that we mentioned last week, I think. But it's at certain points, just would not take damage. Just shooting them and no damage was being had by the opponent. But for whatever reason, we didn't have problems winning in those games. So I don't know, like I said, if that was a damage referee coming into play. I don't know if like maybe he also wasn't doing damage. I don't know. But we went 9-0 with no mercy. So I don't know, like it was just a couple games too. So I don't know where the connection, problems originated. But I don't know. It was interesting. Yeah. Matchmaking and connections in general are just something interesting right now to pay attention to and see what's changed over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff, kind of mixed results on my end with Crimson Doubles that we'll talk about connection-wise and stuff. I don't think I had too much trouble in other modes this week. It's been kind of hit or miss, and then on top of that, I think I've been having some actual problems with my internet. To stack on top of that, so I'm kind of confused about what's going on.
Right, yeah, you can't narrow it down until you resolve your issues, I guess.
Right. So, did you get anything from Xur this weekend?
No, I actually was going to pick up some 3 coins for Xbox, but I didn't even make that.
Yeah, this week he was selling the, if I have this right, Helmet Legacy engram. And then he had, let's see, a exotic Gauntlet engram, Peregrine Greaves, Celestial Nighthawk, Obsidian Mine. More repeats. Right. Nothing new. I'm just waiting for the day if he actually sells some of the new exotics, like newer stuff.
Something, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like, Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight maybe. I need that on Xbox still. I think it was when we were playing, I think it was us, when I got the 2 legendary boots, engrams, and I cashed them both in with the Cryptarch, and I got 2 Peregrine Greaves back to back.
That's just crazy.
Totally random, dude. Totally random.
I feel like people decode that one a lot, though.
Yeah.
It's a more common exotic, like similar to the stag for warlocks or stuff like that you'll get all the time. I don't know.
It's weird to get 2 legendaries back-to-back exotics. That's probably only happened to me once or twice.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. That's some RNG right there.
Yeah. Give me something different on the second one.
Seriously, man.
Yeah.
It's almost like you should have waited and then like came back a couple days later and decoded it.
Did the other one? Yeah, I probably should have done
like
that.
something's broken there. Gave you the result. Same result twice, just reused it.
Well, it wasn't a very heavy PvE week for us, I suppose.
Not really, and it's let's be honest. I mean, the PvE stuff is pretty stale right now.
Right.
I mean, there's kind of the usual timed stuff that happens. I think at some point the No Time to Explain quest rolled back around this week. Some players may have gotten into that. I know one buddy, JC Jesse, he was telling me he finally got his No Time to Explain this week. He was so happy.
Yeah, I still need to get that on my Xbox character. I'm about halfway through that quest chain.
Yeah, we should have got into that last week, but I didn't even think about it. It's like the Black Hammer or the Black Spindle. I should have thought to remind you, like, hey, it's No Time to Explain.
Right? Yeah,
brought you over, but we'll have to remember next time.
Yeah, I do. I did jump in and solo it when it came up a few weeks ago, so I've actually got like the quest started.
Okay.
Yeah, I just
just need to do what? Atheon?
I've got to do the kill. Isn't there a Minotaur you have to kill before that? Right.
Oh yeah.
I've got to do that, and then I can go kill Atheon.
Okay.
So maybe we'll do that together.
Yeah, that's not tough.
Give me another primary.
There we go. Well, it sounds like a not too bad reset when we throw in some Crimson Doubles in there that we'll talk about.
Yeah, we played plenty of that, man. We've got plenty to say about that for sure.
Well, let's get into some news, man. What do we have this week? I know we've got some good, juicy stuff.
Yeah, man. We've had it the last couple weeks, but we've actually got quite a bit of news to talk about this week. We got 2.1.1 dropped on us that introduced Crimson Days last Tuesday.
Right.
So we got the whole Crimson Days, Crimson Doubles, and all that good stuff to talk about in our main topic. But we got quite a few tweaks and little additions and some fixes here and there, didn't we?
Yeah, let me see what all we had.
A couple of them stood out. A couple of them stood out to me. Some of them, as usual, there's always like one or two that didn't quite make sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they fixed several, the classic general issues. Some emotes incidents would appear twice, yada yada, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Fixed an issue with the icon on the Kel Slayer Titan mark, big stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like tiny little stuff I didn't even know was a problem. So yeah, I saw they have one that says fix an issue where an extra icon on the kiosk was appearing for players who acquired Meet a Multi-Tool exotic weapon for both year 1 and year 2. So a lot of people were like saying, wait, there's an extra exotic space here. I don't know what goes there. And, so some kind of bug was causing an extra unclaimed exotic spot in the kiosk, the weapon kiosk for exotics. So I think they
made it
fixed
look like
that.
there was something else. This is the one where they fixed the ogre problem, teleporting problem in the raid.
Yeah.
Yep. So well, you're about as hardcore as it gets to running the raid, and you're not really running it now, so that kind of stinks.
They fixed an issue where you could cheese the totem with a sword. So there's basically you could use the sword to tank through the debuff that you got in a certain area, and then it wouldn't hurt you anymore. So I think they made it so that wouldn't work anymore. So I guess that's good. Fix a cheese. Everybody's got to do it legit. I have no problem with everything legit on this raid. I mean, there hasn't been a lot of cheese.
Well, yeah,
it's a fun raid.
Pretty amazing.
I think people should do it the right way.
Right. Yeah, we also got this is the one where the new freelance playlist dropped in.
Yeah.
We got freelance 3v3, skirmish, salvage, and elimination, and then freelance for control, clash, and rift. And basically, freelance meaning only solo players will be match made in, correct?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Got to be playing by yourself. No fire team members. I thought as well this was pretty cool. They have an Inferno 3v3 featuring Inferno, skirmish, salvage, and elimination.
Right.
I don't know if you get any more hardcore than Inferno 3v3 elimination right there, man.
The thing is they did Inferno 6v6 too, and it's like, which I don't know. When I went to the director today, I actually I had like just a few minutes to kill. I was gonna play a match or two, and I hadn't even looked since this patch dropped. The only thing you can play right now is freelance 6v6 game modes. You can't, and then of course Trials is up, so you can't play normal elimination.
Right.
So like myself, I've mentioned this on the last couple episodes. I like to play elimination even when I'm by myself. So when I went to the director, there's skirmish. I like skirmish, but I've kind of been, veering away a little bit from that as well. So I can't play elimination because it's trials. So then I go look for the freelance playlist, and all it is 6v6 freelance. So I ended up loading up the tower and cleaning out my postmaster.
So just ixnayed that all together.
Yeah, and it's, of course there's plenty to play, but just at that moment, I wasn't feeling any of those game modes. So it's so weird to me, and we mentioned this on the show last week. Like, I want to play elimination, freelance. Like I want to play, even if it was, I don't know. Like it's not even there for me to try. I don't know. That's just so weird. I guess they don't want to split the community up into all these different playlists.
Well,
they have a reason.
It makes me
for
wonder too if like they can only have so many playlists on their servers at once.
At one time. Yeah, there's obviously something dictating that decision.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is,
but I agree with you, and I wish that whatever mode you wanted to play, you could play it.
Right. And it's so weird because, Trials even takes the place of elimination. Like, I would love if just elimination was up 24/7. Like, I mean, it is unless Trials is there. Trials is elimination, but you can't go into Trials without two more people. So,
right.
Yeah. I don't know. One of those things.
Yeah.
The other thing
work on that.
The other thing that threw me off that I didn't quite understand this, maybe you can clear it up for me. On Trials of Osiris fixes, it says adjusted loot tables to make rewards more consistent and less likely to have a non-payout match. So I think the reason this is confusing for me is because I was like super hopeful as I read it. But really all it's saying is there'll be more rewards at the end of a match, right?
Right.
I was hoping I was looking for a word in there that said higher light.
Yeah.
I was
it'd be great if it was like made rewards better.
Right. Yes. But then as I'm sitting here reading it to you, I'm like, well, obviously that makes sense. They're just giving you basically fewer games where you won't get a thing.
Right. Which happens. I mean, sometimes you'll win and, one person gets a cloak and two people get nothing, or stuff like that. I think that's probably what they're trying to address. So if you win, you get something most games, know. Just cool. I mean, that's a slight improvement, but it still doesn't help the overall issue of lackluster rewards at the final,
Yep. It's even gotten to the point for me, man, where I love Trials. I don't need any reward for it. I love that game mode, but I'm definitely leaning towards the Xbox side because the rewards that it does give is a little more helpful for my Xbox character than my PlayStation character. So
that's a win for me. So maybe the system is working.
There you go.
I do like one change they made there that not a lot of people complain too much about, but they reduced the post-game wait time by 15 seconds. That's great.
Huge. Yep.
Because you'll sit there forever, and so what a lot of people will do is they'll just back out. Like, if they can do it before the reward screen, they'll just leave.
Right.
And then go to the next game. Or as soon as the reward screen pops, they'll leave and just go back to matchmaking and restart. So this way, there's less micromanagement. Like, if you can wait 15 seconds, which isn't too bad, half as long as you're normally waiting, then you'll move into another match. So I thought that was great. Good
Yeah,
quality of life.
that is really good. Which made me wonder if people backing out and re-matchmaking would, and I don't know, have any idea, but it made me wonder if it would cause any problems on the back end.
That's
rather
a good
than
question.
just
like if
people
it just
rolling.
strains because it has to create a new event to matchmake, you know?
Yep. I don't know. I'll take it. I agree. That was a good change.
Yeah. They did mention Iron Banner, which I didn't even read this and think about it, but they mentioned Iron Banner returns February 23rd, so that's a week from this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So we got Iron Banner coming back pretty soon here. They don't mention what mode. I'm gonna have to assume it's back to Control, don't you think?
Yeah, I would bet. I bet you're right, man.
They would have said something this week if it was gonna change, I think. But
it always feels like it's here more often than once a month, but it's crazy.
It flies by, man. I feel like I was just complaining about Rift like 2 weeks ago.
It's insane. It is insane.
But they fixed a couple of things like your rank 5 packages the actual rewards, you don't have to go to Orbit to get those now. That's great. Increase the base win rep amount by 20%. Gave you some waypoints when you have packages available, and then you can't recycle into Iron Banner matches after the event has ended. So you can't just keep playing without getting rewards.
Very nice.
Good stuff there. There was something else. What was it that I saw? Besides the damage referee, that was a big thing. It's active in the Control playlist. I'm trying to find it here.
Yeah, speaking of the damage referee, is it just active right now in the Control, or is it elsewhere?
I think Control, doubles.
Is it trials right now?
I don't know. I guess we should look for that.
Yeah, that's. I thought it was because I was talking about it earlier. Maybe it's not yet. Maybe that was just straight up connection problems we were having. I don't know.
Oh, here's the two things I wanted to mention. Fixed an issue where Vienna Singer's ship was not dropping at appropriate rates. So you couldn't even get that thing now if you didn't get it your first run. But now you can get it. So now I'm going to go back. Next time we get Black Spindle, I'm farming that sucker, man.
I'm with you.
I want that ship. It's not even that awesome. I'm just jealous that other people have it, you know?
It's pretty cool looking though.
Yeah. And then the Nightfall, they reduced the chance for ghost shells to be awarded from completing the weekly in favor of other rewards. One running joke that my friend Darth has is, why run the Nightfall when you can just go buy the shell? So that will hopefully end now. No more crappy ghosts. I'm tired. I mean, I don't need ghost shells anymore, guys.
Which happens, plenty from the Nightfall and the Crucible weekly bounties.
Oh, yeah. All right, so that was a patch notes. So let's move into this week at Bungie.
Let's do it, man.
Started right off with what we needed to hear, man.
It is, even though it's an announcement of an announcement, kind of another announcement, at least it's some sort of roadmap for us, right?
I feel like they have officially started CPR on this community. They are pumping the chest. They are doing rescue breathing as we speak. So they said, guys, prior to the holiday break, we mentioned a second larger update slated for spring. That content will feature a significant light increase, a bunch of new gear to earn and equip, and new challenges for PvE players seeking some more fun experiences and replayability. So, what do you think about that, first of all?
I mean, I'm surprised all of that is coming in a larger update slated for spring. Mm-hmm. So we're just talking about an update is giving us that?
Yeah, they're not, they don't use the word expansion, right? So, and then the last part where they say new challenges seeking more fun experiences and replayability, like that almost says to me like not new content, like not new missions or strikes, like that almost telegraphs to me like we're going to give you some ways to replay the old stuff.
I hope so, man.
Which is fine. Like, I can deal with that too.
I hope they revisit old raids, Prison of Elders, everything. Give us that replayability word, man. If they can actually execute on that, would be so huge for the PvE side of things. But it is weird because they say this second larger update. And then the very next sentence says that content release. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, it almost, since they didn't say expansion or anything, like you said, it almost has to be just some sort of update, you would think.
Yeah. And I guess we'll find out more soon. They said, finally confirming, beyond that, the team is focused on delivering a large expansion later this year. So that's big news right there. And a full Destiny sequel in 2017. There it is. It's in writing, guys. We don't have to speculate anymore. Destiny 2 in 2017. But that's a big piece of news right there, a large expansion this year. So, it seems to me like maybe something on the lines of The Taken King, or maybe not quite that size, but something comparable I would hope to see in the fall. What do you think?
It almost... Because I felt like when I was watching people on Twitter and other places talk about this, that they were focusing on the spring and then the Destiny 2. And I thought, like, did I miss something? Because I thought I saw a sentence in there that talked about an expansion this year too. Yeah. And it's weird because it's almost like it's the content drought growing pain that we've talked about. So it's almost like, okay, they're maybe working on this replayability stuff to hold us over to release, something decent in the spring while, maximizing on old content. And then that gives them time to, by the fall, give us this large expansion later this year. So I don't know, man. I mean, it works. Yeah. I mean, it works for sure.
Yep. And then they continue to say, as work wraps up in the weeks ahead, look for more details about the spring content, as well as more information about our bigger projects in the months that follow. Thanks for your patience. Thanks for playing. So that single paragraph right there did more for the community than weeks of weekly updates and And, as everybody has been talking about, we were waiting for the February 11th earnings call with Activision, and sure enough, as soon as they do that, same day, we see our updates. So it seems more and more like their hands were really tied by Activision there, before they could actually say anything.
It is weird because Terry and I were just talking this weekend. It's if they just released a statement, at least for our sake, we were talking, and it just said, "Okay, guys, this year has been a little more rough than we thought. We didn't quite have it laid out content-wise like we had hoped. Sorry about that. We're going to give you content as often as we can, but please bear with us until year 3. That's when we're really going to start dishing this stuff out to you properly." I would just be like, okay. I mean...
I think the biggest issue was message, right?
Right.
So before The Taken King and even after The Taken King, we had a deluge of PR, interviews, videos, podcasts, media with all the different people, and Luke Smith and everybody involved in Taken King and Deej, and everybody coming in talking about year two. This is what we're setting up to do in year 2. This is the tone we want to set in year 2. And gave us so much hope for how awesome this game was going to be in this year of content. And the problem is they built it up to be this huge, awesome thing, and then all we've gotten are these little micro events.
Well, it doesn't help that The Taken King was honestly so awesome. They delivered sure with that.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely performed in that regard and had a big act to follow, but so that's why I just feel like they put this message out and built this idea that year 2 is going to be so much better than year 1, and in reality, we've gotten less content.
Right.
And so it just leaves people with a really bitter taste in their mouth for what they were sold. What they felt like they were promised.
They've got to find this happy balance. Bungie's Bungie. I like that they like to keep things, behind the scenes for us to surprise us and stuff, but they've got to find a happy balance with just telling us, even when there's nothing, just that, sorry guys, there's nothing right now, we're working on it, things like that. And they've done that a little bit. It's just, I think we're a pretty patient, community for the most part. Some of us get riled up a little bit. But at the same time, like I said, if they had just said something like that, like this weekly update here, this isn't really anything super close, but this helps, like now we can play the game every night and be like, okay, we have a pretty good idea when we're gonna, what the roadmap is for the rest of the year. This is kind of a nice feeling,
Yeah, we have some actual clue on what's going to happen.
Right. Yes. So some idea of their plans, right?
Yeah, man. It feels a lot better. I think a lot of the community breathed a big collective sigh of relief.
Right.
Just knowing something. Yeah.
Right. It is weird because other games you don't know for a long time, but Destiny's just a different beast, man. Like, we're such a passionate community. Like, we want to know what's coming, just some sort of idea like this. So now we can run that Nightfall and get that Ghost Shell and be a little bit happier knowing that something else is coming soon.
Right. So that was this week at Bungie, guys. That was pretty much the biggest news we got out of
that. Yeah. We had a little matchmaking thing, but they're basically still toying with the matchmaking and the damage referee and stuff like that. So we'll keep an eye on that and see how it goes. Yeah.
I caught a pretty cool tweet that somebody sent out or retweeted, and it was Mega Bloks, and they announced that they're going to be putting out some Destiny related sets for Mega Bloks this year.
Yep.
I was pretty excited about this, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm a Lego guy, and not because it's like Legos are so popular now. Like, no, like I'm talking about 25 years ago when I'm a little kid was playing with Legos for my whole life. So I never really liked Mega Bloks that much, but I like them a lot more now that they're doing a Destiny set.
Right. Yeah. They got the little Sparrow and the little Guardians, man.
Yeah. They
totally going to nerd out.
They showed some pictures. They didn't show any like actual boxed sets, but they showed some images of like a ship. The OG and they showed a Sparrow. What else did they show off? Can't remember, but the stuff looked really cool.
Yeah, I love the background on the top of the webpage. It's like the classic box art from Destiny. Destiny 1, but it's Legoed out.
And it's pretty cool because they'll have companies that they get to put together these replica models, but they're like $500,
right?
Which is not something I can always invest in.
Yeah, right.
As cool as they are. But a Mega Bloks set that's like $50 or something, like I can spring on that and have some Mega Bloks models in my office.
Stick it on the shelf with the other Destiny memorabilia.
But you got to buy two. You got to buy one to play with and one to leave in the box.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
the classic decision: leave it in the box or take it out. Right.
Yeah. So you get two. But I'll be keeping an eye on that. I will be sure to let you guys know when it comes out. You guys know I'm a Bungie swag fanboy. So
I love that I've got my dedicated shelf space now for Destiny stuff. So it's pretty much going to be ordered immediately.
My desk is running out of room, so I'm going to have to make a shelf too.
Yep. Red Bulls and everything still sitting on it, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So we got some other pretty. This is actually a good reason why we record on Monday sometimes, because I just saw this today. Mass Effect lead writer for what is to be the next Mass Effect, right?
Yeah, Mass Effect Andromeda, right?
Yes. Yeah. Basically, and how do you help me with his last name? Chris. It looks like Schlurf, right? Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He's joining Bungie's team. That's pretty exciting, dude.
Yeah, and there's been some speculation for a little bit about what's going on with him, because he left 343 to go work for BioWare back in the fall, I think, of 2014. And so he was supposed to be the lead writer on Mass Effect Andromeda. So he wasn't there for a super long time.
Right.
I mean, maybe like a year and some change.
And he kind of hinted in his tweets that were going out that he was obviously happy to be a part of that team, and he can't wait to see the final product. So he obviously got hands on quite a bit with
Which sounds like,
the development of that.
He was probably there long enough to, I'm assuming a lot. I mean, who the hell knows what he was doing, but I would assume he was there long enough to put together an arc, help put together their Bible of what's going to happen, and maybe even write, the full arc of one of the games. But, I don't know why he left or would want to leave, but I can't argue with a good writer going to Bungie.
No, man. Yeah, it's I've got him pulled up here actually. A couple of tweets said he said, "All that said, very happy to be back in Seattle working with this scrappy little company called Bungie that some of you may have heard of." And then he tweeted again a little later and said, "Think we might have some interesting stories to tell." So that's exciting, dude. I got to say, Mass Effect, played all 3 of those, and man, to be into a story like that. I remember finishing Mass Effect 3, dude. So this is honestly really exciting. I'm hoping we get some crazy cool stories that start coming out of some Destiny experiences,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it's there, man. The lore is there. We just need it in the expansions, right?
Right. Just keep working on it, I mean, there's a huge ground, or there's a huge platform of lore for somebody to build on, and I feel like we've been getting a lot of side stories, but I can't wait for an expansion, or even in Destiny 2 where we see the whole Destiny universe move forward. And so I hope Chris can be part of that and help lead this story forward for us.
It's exciting, man.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But so that's a big piece of news. Glad you caught that. I almost forgot to mention that.
Yeah, I saw it a couple times on the feed, man. And then you know how it is. Sometimes we just come across this because other people sharing stuff in the community. So that's always good, man. Good stuff.
So let's get to our main topic this week. It is Crimson Days this past week, man. And we've had some fun and not so fun experiences in this mode. So let's get right into it. What is your first take on this when you first jumped into Crimson Days?
Man, for me, it was, and even being the PvP guy that I am, everybody knows I love spending some time in the Crucible. But I jumped in and I'm like, really, what is my motivation for this game mode? Because the consumable, obviously, at this point, I don't know if any of us were really using the consumable. Maybe some newer players. So I won't say, nobody was excited about that. But the emotes were cool. I still haven't picked one up. I don't know if I'm going to. I really thought I was going to pick up Fist Bump, but I haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah.
Of course, the 320 Ghost Shell was the major draw.
Yeah.
I'm not hunting 320. So I definitely want it. I'm going to try and get it on both consoles. But it's... it just made me ask myself, like, do I really, what is bringing me into this game mode? Now, with that said, it was a lot of fun. It was the Heartbreak buff was pretty cool, the Broken Heart buff.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What did you think about it overall before we get into each little thing?
I mean, when I got into it the very first day, on Tuesday when it dropped, I had a blast. And I'm saying as I played probably my first 5 to 10 matches, losing all but 2, but I was still having fun.
Right.
And I think it was for me the novelty of, first of all, I've played maybe 1 or 2 games of doubles since Taken King dropped. So
Same here, man.
Doubles overall was novel for me. But second, having that cool Broken Heart buff mechanic was really novel and interesting for me. It was definitely a very, and I would say a very cool design choice for a doubles playlist. I think that was a really unique thing, that somebody came up with to do that. And I've heard mixed opinions on it. I've heard people say it's cool, but it's not enough. And they may have a point there, but I kind of wish this would come back. I said the same thing about SRL, that I wish some of this stuff would rotate more frequently, but I would play this.
Yeah, nothing Nothing would hurt to have all these little events that they could rotate in and out here and there.
Well, I mean, I kind of am disappointed that it's only going on for a week. Like, I kind of wish it went a couple weeks and then it would come back around again. We may have to wait another year if it comes back. But I wouldn't mind seeing this as maybe like a frequent playlist that pops up sometimes, like Crimson Doubles. But I just had a lot of fun. Like, it was cool just to get in with one other Guardian. It's just you and him against these two other guys. And then, when somebody dies, like, it's the dynamic completely changes because you have this one guy that is just a freaking superhero.
Right.
And then when it's just one-on-one, you're both superheroes. So you're just chasing each other in circles, right? And just going on until somebody either sets a pick or just does something great to get the kill. But I had a lot of fun, and I think it was a cool event. Was it something extravagant? No. I mean, did they put like a ton of resources into this? No, but I don't think that every single event that comes our way has to be huge for it to be fun.
Well, I've said it probably on the last two shows. I don't mean to be a broken record, but something like this would be great in between some DLC packs, right? Something to tide us over. So, and I actually had the opposite experience when I first jumped in. Terry and I ran probably like 10 games. I would venture to say 7 of those 10 games were horrible connections. I mean, we couldn't even hardly play the game. I don't know what was going on. I think that was Tuesday when it launched. I don't have no idea what was going on with it, but it was just kind of one of those. I wasn't 100%, feeling it on my shot. So it was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to, all right, we played enough. The connections really aren't happening. Let's take a break. And then I hopped on a few nights later and had the experience that you say you had jumping right into it. And we just had a blast with it. So,
well, it was funny because the first, day that it dropped, we had both jumped into chat and we're talking about what we thought, and I was like, oh, that's really unfortunate because I had a ton of fun. And then the very next night I go to get on and I literally could not play because the connection issues were so bad.
Yeah, that's how ours were.
I tried several games in a row and it was so terrible. I kept getting dropped out and dropped back into games. I'd get dropped back in and everybody was just running in place. Then it would catch. I mean, it was the worst lag that I've ever experienced in this game. In like not just one game, it was game after game.
That's what we said, man. Like, because normally it's manageable, but in the games that we played, those 7 out of 10 games, it was like we couldn't hardly play the game.
Yeah,
it was that,
and it was really making me question what was going on because while that was happening, I wasn't getting any specific errors when I got booted, and I would check on my computer and on my phone, like, am I still connected to the internet? Like, do I still have a good speed? And I ran a test and everything, upload, download's fine. I don't have any packet loss, but yet I can't even stay connected in a game and everybody's red barred. I'm like, okay, this must not be me. And then the very next night I jump on, have literally no problems.
Yeah,
then,
it just makes you wonder.
The next night I can't even play again. So I don't know what was going on.
Makes you wonder, like, I mean, you definitely start questioning your own connection. I mean, I
definitely did and still am, but
right,
I've never had problems like this.
Well, and we're connected to other people, so like I'll run connection tests when stuff like that's going on and my internet's right where it should be. So, then it's like, okay, I'll stop questioning my connection, but at times it could be, your router or whatever could lock up, but it's, it makes you wonder if something's not going on, especially when this first launched on the back end, with damage referee and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we have that, and we know that they've made changing to the matchmaking. So there's so many factors that we don't have a clear picture of what's happening now that it makes it very, very hard to troubleshoot because we have, okay, not only is it a new mode, but more people were probably playing it. We have this damage referee thing going on. We know the matchmaking's changed. Like, it's very hard to narrow down like what could have been those issues.
Right.
And then also hearing from people that I play with that they're having the same exact problems. I'm like, all right, something's going on.
Yep, and ours was across different consoles. You were having all that on Xbox, and it was
and you have it on PS4. So it even more. It makes me believe even more that it was an issue on their end than on mine.
So it's almost like we've got to throw that out of our brains for deciding if we liked Crimson Doubles or not.
Yeah, so I'm trying to look at it outside of those issues, because when I could play, and there were a couple nights where I was able to play for several hours, I had a ton of fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
I really did, and that's coming from a place where like I enjoyed the elimination, and and some people may not have liked it, but for me it really melted my cheese, so to speak.
Well, we know I like any kind of elimination game mode.
Yeah, so the competitive nature, it was a lot of fun.
It was so fun just having you and a buddy and trying to make it happen.
And it was cool because it's much easier to grab one person to play this mode than to grab two.
Right. Yeah, because that was another questioning point from the community is, it's another activity that you have to actually somehow go find yourself a friend or another guardian. You can't just matchmake into it. Which, speaking of that, and I can't give credit, man, I got to start writing these down when I read them. Did you see on Reddit the really good idea, the missed opportunity that somebody posted? They called it Crimson Days speed dating.
Yeah,
man, and it's such a good idea. They said they should have allowed it to be matchmaking in a different tier or something. I can't remember for sure. And then when you found somebody you enjoyed playing with, just by the way they played, because a lot of people don't use in-game chat, hardly anybody, you send them a party invite or a game invite, you join up, and then you matchmake into the actual Crimson Doubles.
Right.
That was such a good idea, I thought, man. It's speed dating. It was so appropriate.
That would have been a good choice. That would have been fun there for a lot of players. I mean, I think that I was actually surprised by the wide variety of feedback that I saw, both in the Reddit community, on the Twitter community, and YouTube, all these different things. I mean, I saw people saying, man, I'm having so much fun. I wish this would go another week. I saw people saying like, oh, this sucks. This is just another poor example of, something that I can't find people to play with. Blah, blah, blah. Like, why do you keep doing this to us, Bungie? And then I saw the even furthest extreme, like, this entire mode is a clear example of everything that's wrong with this game right now. Like, I'm like seeing from across the spectrum, I'm like, I'm having fun. What's everybody upset about? Like,
well, it's like we said with the connections. It's almost like you have to set aside any other thing that's bugging you about the game right now, like for example the content drought, and just look at the game mode for what it is, and it's hard to do that when you're wanting other things in the game. I don't know.
But I mean, all I can do is recount my experience, and when I was connecting, I had a really fun time. I'd like to play some more of this.
What did you think? Just a general question on power not mattering. Did you like that? Do you think power should matter, like in Trials or Iron Banner?
I think the reason they did that was, I think there was two reasons behind that. One, so that a wider player base could play it, right? So that like guys with either low level characters or newer players could get in and play, and it wouldn't. Like, they wouldn't feel pressured to, I don't have the best gear, so I can't play that, know? Because they already get that once a month with Iron Banner and every weekend with Trials. So you can't compete unless you have built up your character. So I think that they were trying to make this an accessible activity for everyone. But two, I think an added benefit of that was a little touch of nostalgia in being able to bring in year one stuff that people don't play a lot with unless they do sweaties or go into classic playlists a lot. And I guess you can even use those in non-competitive, regular playlists, but it was kind of fun. And I'm be honest, like I told people this every day, I got out my icebreaker and I had a freaking blast because that gun is so much fun to use.
You weren't using it for the exploit though, right?
No, I just really like the
Yeah, you
sniper
just like
rifle,
your ice
and I didn't have to worry about special, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
'cause-
like 6 seconds into the round, like I could start popping heads, and yeah, that was part of the fun, you know?
Mhm. I gotta say, because like you forget. I remember when when it was launching Tuesday. I'm like, oh man, all right, I'm gonna get my Thorn just in case somebody's using Thorn against us, which
Yeah.
happened one game. I didn't run
Yeah.
into it that much. I heard a
I
lot of
saw
people
it a few
did.
times,
Yeah.
but not as
Then
much as I expected.
I'm like, what can I use, man? What can I use? Do I want to try one of my old sniper rifles? And then I'm sitting here like, wait, I can do this at any point in any of the other old playlists. But
Yeah,
something
yeah.
about it being a new, fresh game mode like got you excited for the year one stuff.
Yeah, everybody was talking about, oh, I'm going to use Necrochasm. I'm going to get out my Thorn. I'm going to do this, that, you know.
The Vex.
And so that, like, I feel like that was another added benefit of like, we're going into a special mode where we're competing and everybody wants to win, but we can also use the old bag of tricks, you know?
Mhm. Right.
But the problem was that then all the salt came back that used to come from those weapons, like getting hit with Thorn, and then, you know, people getting out Icebreaker, like I mentioned, and you replied, well, was that because of special ammo? So like there was an automatic workaround. The new special ammo changes because the year one stuff was allowed. You could get out your Invective, a sidearm, or Icebreaker and work around some of that stuff and change the dynamic of the game type. So it was kind of like bad timing in that regard, but you know, in the end, it's not competitive. It was just for fun. So.
There was an exploit flat out with Icebreaker, right? You could have it out for one round and then
just charge up to 6 and then switch to another weapon, and you'll keep some of that special
ammo. Yeah. Same with sidearms, I think. You know, it's almost like they had to have thought of that, but realized like at the point that they were at, there's nothing they could do about it.
Well, it was a trade-off either,
right?
Because they couldn't do anything about it immediately because that would be big changes. So either they make it light level enabled, which means it's less accessible, or go the route that they went and deal with the small amount of salt that came with that, which I think is fair.
Right. Yeah, and like you said, it's only in this activity because you're not really going to use the year one stuff. I mean, I guess you could for a round in trials, but you know,
you can use it to have fun in non-competitive play still. I mean,
right,
whenever you want.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with this too, I mean, we saw some top streamers. We saw some tweets go out. They were running 20 plus hours and still hadn't seen a ghost shell. Bungie has
drop rates
has since answered this, and we'll get into that. But yeah, the drop rates were not quite. I mean, how many times have we been through that? The drop rates not being really where they should be, right?
Yeah, and personally, I saw 2 ghost shells the first night I played.
For your own loot? You got it yourself?
Yeah,
Nice.
The downside is that I didn't realize until getting those 2 ghost shells that the loot was dependent on your light.
Oh, right. Yes.
Which I went into it assuming, falsely, that it was SRL rules, where it'll just drop at your most top light, right? But no, I was rocking like all year one weapons, so I had like 280 or 260 light, and I was getting ghost shells around both of those, and it wasn't until I got 2 that I realized, oh, these are only dropping right around the light I'm at. I'm like, crap. So this kind of ruins part of the fun. If I want to get this ghost shell with the light I need, I have to run with my year 2 stuff, and I can't use the fun year 1 stuff. So that disappointed me right out of the gate.
Right. Yeah, I actually, to completely contradict this, I mean, any regular listener knows that I'm probably sitting at around 310, 311 light. I was probably setting it around, usually in my trials build, I'm 305 to 308. And I got, on the last game that we played, right before I logged out, I noticed I got a chocolate ghost shell, and it was 318 light.
Oh, I didn't realize it was the chocolate one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
man,
So,
I want that one, man.
Yep. So I mean, I have no idea why I got such a high light ghost shell on that.
That's
but,
pretty good roll.
Yeah, it works with intellect discipline. So I got pretty lucky on that one. But
Yeah.
they did tell us, what did they tell us, man? Complete 7. They realized the drop rates weren't quite where they should be. So what are we getting if we play 7 games?
320 Ghost Shell, guaranteed.
at the Postmaster, right? After the event's over?
I kind of had to pinch myself.
Because that's going to make you 320, right?
It seemed very uncharacteristic for them to respond this quickly to this type of issue, and for 2 to just give away what everybody wants.
Right. Yep. For playing 7 games.
But they say, guys, we realize the drop rate's low. We took the data. It's not where it should be. What is it about this game that they can't get drop rates right, quote unquote?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've dealt with it how long in Iron Banner?
It's Iron Banner. It's every mode. They're always, man, yeah, the drop rates, they're not right.
Well, like we just read with this patch this week, they're trying to fix that with trials, the rewards. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, man. But why is it so complicated? Why is it such a
I don't know.
Tameable problem that it's constant in all these different activities? I just don't understand.
Right.
Why it can be a continuously occurring problem in all their different Crucible playlists. I mean, they still haven't fixed Crucible drops, like vanilla, like normal Crucible drops. You can't get shaders. Their supposed fix, where the better you perform, the better rewards you get, is still not active. I mean, you can be a 0.01 KD and you'll get an exotic. Or, well, I'll take that back. You can't even get exotics, but you'll get the legendary. Right. That's another issue. You still can't get exotics out of a regular Crucible game like you used to.
Yeah, it's just 3 coins now, which I miss.
That might be an obvious thing they did on purpose, but at least enable the shaders.
Yeah. I don't know. I miss exotics randomly dropping. I mean, we get them more often with 3 coins.
Dude, that's how I got my Gallahorn.
Oh, really?
I still remember. I have a picture of that to this day, and my teammates were mad at me, but I was like, hell yeah, man. Yeah. I just got the ultimate RNG drop, like a Gallahorn out of a Crucible match.
I feel like even though we get more with 3 coins more often, there still should be that small chance that an exotic can drop at the end of a Crucible match.
Something, but anyways, I'm done complaining. I'm going to hold the salt here. So they have in complete turnaround here on this issue. They say, guys, we're going to give you this 320 Light Ghost. It's 50-50 chocolate or crimson. Packages will be addressed by account, not character, so we get 1 per account, and you'll receive it by February 23rd in your Postmaster.
That's going to make you 320, right?
That'll put me up, man.
Yep. So that's crazy. You're just gonna get it from Bungie.
Yep.
And make you 320.
Forget RNG. It to me, man. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. I really worked hard. I felt like
they've been listening.
That'll be great for your Xbox character, though. That'll definitely help you bring up your light.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, man. I mean, overall, I agree with you. I think I do want to see this event again. It's just it's a nice, fun little event to kind of dabble in for a week. Just hopefully next time we see it, it'll be not quite as bad of a content drought that we're seeing in year 2.
Yeah. One of our listeners at Naders92 had an idea and kind of a complaint about elimination-based games, and he wanted to know, should revives be disabled, or should you only have 1 life per round in elimination? What do you think about that idea?
Man, this just gives me an opportunity to mention that game again. This is how SOCOM was. You had 1 life. You couldn't get revived. So when your whole team was dead, it was done at that point. It's like you either bring it back or you don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really like the idea of it, but at the same time, reviving people it makes matches so intense sometimes and so clutch if you can sneak around and revive your teammate. Now, with that said, I almost wouldn't mind seeing some of the shields we get go away when, or at least both players getting a shield, when you
that's
revive.
A big complaint I hear from really competitive guys is they just really hate the shield mechanic from reviving.
Almost like the player that is reviving shouldn't get a shield. Maybe the player that's it doesn't really matter for the player that's coming back to life because he can still get res sniped, but I won't go off onto that tangent this episode.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man, like it would be fun. It definitely would be cool if you had one life. You got to really pay attention. Don't put yourself in a position where you're going to get killed on your team. I don't know. I think both ways would be pretty neat. I like it the way it is now, but it'd be fun to dabble in a game mode where if you die, you're done for the round. You can't help your team out anymore. I don't know. What do you think?
I do not think revive should be disabled, and I think that's the case because that mechanic adds a lot of strategy and flavor to threes. If you have two teammates that drop, it's going to basically immediately change where the firefights are going to take place, where that third player is going to want to be, where the enemy team is going to want to be. If you just have one life, the way the maps are built almost have to change to accommodate that game type, because you're going to end up slowing down the progress of a game by a huge margin. You're going to have a lot less push and pull, a lot less tug of war. It's going to add a lot of length to the game, I think.
Well, and two, like you said, you instantly want to cover the orbs.
Right.
So if you don't have to cover orbs, you're just going to get rushed immediately if you're outnumbered. I mean, pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I have the same take on this as I do about supers in Destiny, and I hear people complain, oh, there shouldn't be supers, and supers are OP, or you shouldn't be able to get them so often. And the whole thing, at least my particular stance on this, is like, these are the things that make this a unique game. I'm sorry, it's not SOCOM. It's not COD. It's not this or that. It's not Halo. It's Destiny, and it's a unique shooter that these things like supers and the abilities that you have in reviving in threes, like those are the things that make this a unique competitive game. And is it always straight cut and dry, like, who's got the best gun skill, who wins? No, but that's what makes it fun. That's what gives the players some empowerment to be able to cheat the odds sometimes. Right.
Well, and supers are hard for them to balance, man, but I got to say it definitely makes trials super interesting, man, when you time those things right.
I probably wouldn't play the PvP as much as I did if it didn't have those unique characteristics. That's what makes it, because I haven't played tons of competitive multiplayer in my gaming career. Like, I've dabbled, but I would eventually get bored pretty quickly, because either I couldn't catch up with the competitive curve quick enough to compete, and I would get frustrated, or I just kind of found it boring and repetitive. And I don't feel that way in competitive Destiny play, because there's all these cool mechanics that can change things so quickly in a match, good and bad. I mean, it's like any other time that you're playing competitively. Like, you can feel the sting and the bite, and then you can also feel like the elation when you pull off that super just right and take out the whole team, and you're like, yes, I did that, Right. And that's what makes it so unique, man. If you take that away, you're just playing SOCOM, you're just playing COD, whatever.
Right.
Go play those games.
It does make it a different game, that's for sure. I mean, something like SOCOM that was a modern shooter. It didn't. That's
I'm not talking trash on those games.
No, that's what's Destiny. That's what it's about with Destiny, is we're not playing a modern shooter.
Right.
So we need. I mean, supers. That is Destiny. Like, I can't imagine even that. I don't think they'll ever release a game mode in Destiny that doesn't have supers. And maybe I just can't see it. That is the game.
I would be surprised if they did.
You're super.
It's a core mechanic of the game.
Right. Yeah. But anyways, it's good stuff, man. I agree.
Cool, man. So, but yeah, Crimson Days overall, to wrap this up, I give it a thumbs up, and I hope it comes back. I'd like to see some variations on it. I'd like to see it come back sooner than next February.
Right.
And I hope that people saw the value in that content and got out there and experienced it as they could, and made the best of it. Because if you just suck it up and play it, you'll have some fun, you know?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to jump in and just not take it so serious and just have a good time. But, you know, I didn't even think about it not coming again until next February. These live events, I just think maybe we'll see every 3 or 4 months. But this one is
this one's
like
kind of
Festival
unique
of
and tied into the holidays, so that's what makes me worry I won't see it again for a while.
It's possible, man.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout outs? How about some shout outs?
Shall we do some derp feels?
Yeah, some derp feels, right? We didn't get any tweets about actually we got one. We did get one. But we were expecting some more feedback on the derp feels, derp fan feels possible names for this segment.
I think they're giving us complete confidence in our decision making abilities here. So me and you will just have to hash it out.
Yep, that sounds good.
So we got an email, man, from Nick Hasty, also known as Optimus Fine 61 on Xbox One, or Black Spindleless.
That's good, man.
His email, we'll read this. He said, Cyborg and Arrow, I've been a long-time listener since episode 1 and love the podcast. I've just recently gotten very involved with the derp community and the GroupMe chat, and recently I set up a raid with @JoeTheMeaden, @RH @Scenario, @Earwack, and @CHBLegendary. And it was probably the most entertaining and comedic Destiny experience I've had yet. Props to you guys and the Derp Fam for promoting such a progressive community in the best game known to mankind. Also mention, Joe requires a $20 deposit and a PayPal account to run you through a raid. I'm assuming that's some kind of inside joke, because guys, that's not true.
It's pretty funny, though.
And also #Black Spindleless. He says, we helped 2 fairly new derp family members @Earwack and @CHB Legendary through King's Fall. It was a prime example why I refused to turn to any other game in the market, even during our content drought. Just take a look.
Yep.
And then he goes on to say from him, and he says, by the way, Titans are far superior. Sorry, Cyborg.
I'm so glad you read that email, man. That worked out nicely.
No, I got to the end. I was like, oh, I have to read this still.
Yep. He sent us a few pictures too. Is why he said just take a look. So great stuff, man. And it's so funny because if you talk to Joe like for more than 10 seconds, you know this $20 deposit is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, I can only imagine. So really glad, Nick, that you had such a fun time raiding with those guys. I'm glad you got to bring some new fam through the raid with you guys. I hope your loot was excellent.
Very cool stuff. Yep.
Yeah. We've got a speak pipe from somebody we haven't heard from in a while this week. We back heard from him on the holiday episode. We'll let you guys take a listen. Let's see what he has to say.
Hey, Destiny Reset. This is Bobby the Mechanic. First time, long time to the speak pipes. You have to excuse me. My allergies are acting up a little bit. You know, with these Crimson doubles, they got they got roses all over the tower. My allergies are acting up. I'm going crazy in here. You know, I have to stick around the tower because ever since SRL is all done, I'm not fixing any Sparrows anymore. What they got me doing is I'm stuck in the rifts, charging the sparks, while the Guardians are coming in. It's dangerous work charging the sparks all day. And then I'm sneezing all over the place. I keep blowing the damn things out. And then not only that, but they got bees all over the tower. I'm allergic to bees. So, Cade thinks he's funny. He's following me around the whole tower with an epinephrine pen, EpiPen. He's trying to stab me with it. Just in case I get stung by one of the bees. But anyway, I want to tell you guys, I love what you're doing over there. I listen to, long time listener. Keep up the good work. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bobby, the mechanic, our buddy, heard from him back on the holiday episode, giving us a little update on what's going on in the tower. You know, I don't think very often about what these poor guys have to go through to keep us Guardians playing, right?
Right. I mean, he sounded a little stressed, didn't he?
Yeah, and he sounded a little under the weather, too, with these allergies, man. Poor guy. He's got all those roses in the tower.
That's, I don't know. We may have to send him, just give him one of our giveaways or something.
Maybe so. Poor Bobby. Man, you guys look out for, the little guy in the tower doing all that hard work for us, man.
We got another email from a Derp Fam community member. It is Jacko in the Box 4. He says, "Hey guys, first off, love the show. Keep up the good work. Thank you for that."
Yeah.
And he said, "I was wondering if you guys have seen a positive increase in RNG this week. Just this week in my 5-man fire team, everyone got a Treads Upon Stars from the Nightfall. Some of us 2. 2 of us got our first, that's equivalents of Yasmin, right?
Quillam's Terminus and Yasmin, I think is what he's saying.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And at both 310 and 320.
Nice.
Then we had a guy get his first Mida at 310. It's been crazy since we really haven't had the time to play much this week, and everyone I've talked to has been having this kind of luck. Just wanted to know if it's been the same for the 2 of us. This is a good question,
and
dude.
I
How
think
about
this
you?
email came in last week, right?
Yeah, right.
So this is not the previous reset we're talking about, but the week before that. I got a Treads Upon Stars 2 from the Nightfall.
I did
week.
too, man. Yep.
And you got
Which
one.
I know that, did I hear at some point in the Nightfall, it seemed like even before this, people were speculating that maybe it's a higher drop rate possibly when it's the Nightfall, that you can get the specific gear, or am I making that up?
No, you're not making that up. I do remember, and this is not too long after the Taken King drop, but someone analyzing legendary drop rates when you had the Nightfall, and also legendary drop rates when you had popped a 3 of coins, and they found some kind of correlation with those things rising when you had a roll coming up for a higher path activity or something like that.
Right.
So maybe that's related to us, but he's kind of relating. They got a lot of other big gear.
I gotta
that
say,
week, too.
like I've just in like normal play, it does seem like we've seen things dropping more often.
And then wasn't that the week that Jordan got like 2 exotic primaries, something else?
Yeah, on his new character, he got like 4 or 5 things within. Was it the same day?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same day that he got it. Yeah.
Yeah, so that, we've got a lot of, little trivial pieces of data, but, collectively, I think that at least our small sample group here saw better RNG that week.
Right, yeah.
So, what can we correlate from that? Like, maybe they have improved the RNG algorithms because people are playing less and they want to reward more.
Mm-hmm.
Could that
possibly
be possible?
Yeah.
Maybe so.
Just tweak it a bit.
Just a little bit. Hey,
pull them
move
back
the
in.
decimal point over a little bit here. Everybody gets a little better gear. Everybody's playing more because they're getting the stuff they want. I wouldn't be surprised.
We won't complain. That's good stuff. Well, Derp Fam, tweet at us. Tweet at Destiny Reset. And let us know if you guys have been seeing more stuff drop over the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
See what we've got as in the community as a whole. So
yeah, give us some more to think about on that. Another speak pipe here. We've got a few this week.
Man, it's crazy.
Yeah, and this one is from a commander that you may know in the tower. We'll let you listen to this one here.
Hello, Destiny Reset. This is Commander Zavala. Everybody's putting a lot of pressure on me to find a partner for Crimson Doubles, but I don't think they understand that we're in a war with the Cabal. First, I went up to Akura Ray and asked her if she would be my partner, but I think she was a little standoffish once I told her that I had some space magic in my pants. Then I went up to Tess Everett and asked her if she would like to be my partner. I said, please, check out my energetic dance, but she wasn't having any of it. She doesn't like to play with Awoken. Then I Figured I'd try Amanda Holiday, but she wouldn't go on a date with me unless she brought her chaperone. I guess Zavala is just going to be alone for these Crimson Doubles. Please, please help me out if you can.
Okay, Cyborg. That was pretty interesting.
Commander Zavala, man.
He's not having much luck in the tower.
It does not sound like it. I think he needs to branch out of all these girls in the tower. Must not be into him.
He's gonna have to sneak into the last city and see what's going on.
But
there.
Yeah, if anybody out there knows of somebody that would be interested in a Woken Titan that's the commander of the Vanguard, I think Zavala needs some help.
I mean, that title alone, right? Should
I mean,
enough,
he should bring a lot of prestige with that. Heavy lies the crown, though, as they say.
I didn't think Crimson Days would bring so much stress and anxiety to.
It's like Valentine's Day, man. Everybody starts stressing out about seeing all these couples and everybody has a date, and even the poor guys in the tower are having the same problem, it sounds like.
That's good, man. Well, I hope we hear some more speak pipes from our tower friends, right?
Yeah, well, I'll try to reach out to some of these guys and tell them to stay in touch.
Right. So we got another email from Mike. It's Mike M22. He says, thanks for what you guys have started. I would be having as much fun as I do now if I wasn't a part of the Derp family. I would like to thank and shout out to some of the guys that have been a big help to me in putting up with my horrible PvP play. He's given a shout out to RH Lurson on Xbox One, Danny the Kirk on X1 and PS4, Logan VDG on X1 and also on PS4, at Bolt Striker 6 on X1, and Jimbo on X1, and Lethal Beat 21 at Lethal Beat 21. Thanks again, Mike. So that's a pretty big shout out there, dude. He's got,
thanks,
quite
Mike,
a few people.
for sending those out. We're always down to send out your shout outs to all the Derp fam on the show, whoever means the most to you.
Good stuff, man. I love it.
All right, we got one last Speak Pipe, guys. I had to share this one. It's kind of pathetic, but I'm just gonna let you listen to it.
Here we go.
Hello, Destiny Reset. This is Zer. I just wanted to call and let all your listeners know that come check me out. I've got some stuff for sale. I know a lot of people don't really come and see me that often anymore. I just wanted to let you know. If you're interested, I have some fine knucklehead radar that you guys may be interested in. So, come check me out. I've got a lot more than 3 of coins nowadays. I mean, it's not going to kill you to come see me. Perhaps you guys have heard of glass needles. So, just stop on by. I'm so lonely. Nobody ever comes to see me anymore. Nobody will kiss me because I have these things all over my face. I don't have a Crimson Doubles partner. Okay. I promised myself I wouldn't do this. Okay, thank you.
All right, guys, our old buddy Zer. I kind of feel bad, man. I've been kind of putting him down on the show, and it sounds like he's kind of getting down in the mouth lately.
We don't even mention him some episodes.
I know. I feel bad, and he's listening, and he's calling in. It sounds like he really needs a friend.
Something. I mean, somebody's, please. Yeah.
Well, maybe if he'd tell people a little bit more about himself and open up some, he might have more friendships.
He started talking about his facial features and stuff, man. It's
I don't know. I don't know how to help him with that, man. You got to go to a plastic surgeon or something.
Speak to Eris.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Eris could probably help you with that.
Hey, there you go, right there.
Match
made. There we go, man. We did it right here on accident. That was not scripted, right?
Somebody reach out to Eris. Maybe we can get them together in a room.
Very nice. Good stuff, man. We also we wanted to give a shout out to BitDead. Back when we were in the GroupMe days, we can say that now. Back in the GroupMe days,
Yep.
Of the Derp fam, we wanted to say thank you. He actually posted a video at an American cemetery for fallen World War II vets in the UK. He was paying his respects, so we thought that was pretty cool, man. It was pretty neat to share stuff like that in our different channels that we talk on, just to see what everybody is doing around the world, and very cool to pay your respects like that. We appreciate it.
Definitely was very kind thing to consider and to share with us. So thanks for that.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You got any other shout outs to anybody this week?
Man, just shout out to my PS4 Trials team, iTattoo and Terry, and hopefully Dixie Flatline again soon. I got to give a shout out to my Xbox Trials team.
Yeah, buddy.
Them's Tattoos and this guy named Cyborg Sasquatch.
It's a me, Cyborgio.
And we played doubles too, man. We didn't even mention our main topic.
Yeah,
we
did play
several
some doubles
games
together and had some
stuff.
fun. Yeah, and I got dropped from a game. You know,
did,
case
man.
in point, man.
Yes, and I gotta say, dude, just so people don't think I've got 2 random sniping videos on my Xbox account, it didn't show the total screen at the end. It was one of those, like, kicked it in gear, man, and I finished off and won that game after you got dropped. After you were there for a couple rounds, helped me out, and then I just somehow pulled it off, man, and I saved a couple clips, and I went back and looked at them, and it just looks like I got a couple snipes.
Yeah.
It didn't show, like, the ending totals. But anyways, that was fun, man. I had a good time running doubles with you.
That was fun, man. But we'll hopefully do it again soon.
Yeah, hopefully in sooner than a year, right?
Yep.
I guess we can play normal doubles.
Fun show this week, man.
Yeah, it was good stuff, dude. We always can talk for a while about this game, even when there's not a ton of news or new content to talk about.
Still a fun game to play. We've got some fun stuff coming up here soon, guys. Keep listening. We've got some guests that are due. We've got some new stuff in the works for you to enjoy.
Yes,
stay tuned to Destiny Reset. You can always tweet us at Destiny Reset or email us at destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com. Where can they find you, Arrow?
You can find me at the Arrow Knight, and Twitch and YouTube is just Arrow Knight. How about you, man?
Yep, and remember that's with a 0, boys and girls.
Now you're doing it for me, man.
Yeah. You can find me at Cyborg Sasquatch. I think you can spell that.
Yes.
On the Twitter. That's the only place exclusive. Thank you guys for the iTunes reviews. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to join our Bungie.net group, the Derp Fam. Amazing group of people. We also have our sub clan set up. If you can't get that clan tag, go join Destiny Reset Fellwinter, and you can rock that DRP clan tag all day.
Yeah, man, and it's kind of crazy, but we're pushing 500 in the group. And on
Holy cow, man.
It's crazy, dude. And on Fellwinter, we already have 68 clanmates. So thank you guys for joining, and keep it going. Before we know it, we're going to be halfway to sending out another vote on a 3rd subclan.
Yep.
2nd subclan, 3rd overall.
Won't be long.
Crazy,
Will
dude.
not be long. All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us.
Hey, Cyborg.
Yes.
Do you have a impression for us this week?
Maybe.
Oh, you might? Oh, okay. All right. I was gonna see if you wanted to close it out, man. All right, guys. That's just the usual.
All right.
Until next week, have fun playing Destiny and take care, Guardians.
We're at war with a cabal. But I like chocolate.
Oh, nice. That's gonna be hard coming right off of the speak pipe, man.
I can't do as a mother.